So it's time again for another one of our sponsored build videos, and this time around it's Thermaltake that is sponsoring the build, and it's featuring the Tower 600 case, Thermaltake CT140 EX RGB forward and reverse fans, and a custom loop made up of Thermaltake Pacific parts including the PR12 D5 Plus pump res combo, the Pacific SW1 Plus CPU block, and a 420mm Pacific SR420 slim radiator. So the main focus of this sponsored build is the new Thermaltake Tower 600. I believe this was first shown off at Computex earlier this year. We are still waiting for the official word on when this will launch in the UK and how much it will cost. But today we get a pre-release chance to have a quick look at the case and build a system with a sponsored Thermaltake featured build. The Tower 600 is Thermaltake's latest addition to its octagonal prism style case series. It supports up to ATX motherboards including back connect such as MSI Project Zero and Asus BTF, 420mm radiators and up to 13 fans. It's available in several different colour schemes including black, matcha green, hydrangea blue and snow white. It can be mounted vertically or horizontally using an optional chassis stand kit sold separately. It's equipped with rotating PCIe slots that allows graphics cards to be mounted in various ways, and it also includes tool-free panels for easy access. It comes with two CT140 fans pre-installed, and there's an optional LCD that can be mounted in the front of the case, which is sold separately. For the fans inside the system, I'm going to be using some of these Thermaltake CT140 EX ARGB sync fans. These are available in forward and reverse blade versions. You can pick up the CT140EX in 3 packs from Scan, priced at about £45 currently. Thermaltake CT140EX ARGB sync features MagForce 2 magnetic connections using 2 times larger pogo pin contact pads to reduce the chance of faulty alignment and boost installation efficiency. CT140EX ARGB sync is equipped with 9 addressable LEDs to customize lighting effects using motherboard sync software, forward and reverse blade options, and anti-vibration rubber pad mounts to reduce vibration and noise. The fans have a PWM speed range of 500 to 1800 RPM, maximum airflow of 90.2 cubic feet per minute, maximum static pressure of 3.07mm H2O, and a maximum noise output of 30.7 decibels. They are available in black and white colour schemes. As I say, you can pick them up in the 3 packs from scan.co.uk, priced at around £45. As well as those fans, will also be building a custom loop. Probably it's just going to be a CPU loop, but I'm going to be using some of these Thermaltake Pacific custom loop parts, including the Thermaltake Pacific SW1 Plus CPU block that's priced at £125 from Amazon. It features an industrial style design with ARGB lighting controlled by TT RGB Plus software and anti-corrosive nickel plated copper base plate. Reservoir is a Thermaltake Pacific PR12 D5 Plus that's priced at £185 on Amazon, and it's a pump res combo with D5 pump and a 250ml reservoir capacity. The radiator is a Thermaltake Pacific SR420 slim radiator, 28mm thick, compatible with 3 140mm fans, constructed of copper with 14 flat tubes and high density copper fins. Fittings will be an assortment of Thermaltake Pacific SF fittings, and tubing is Thermaltake V-Tubular PETG. The power supply for the system is this Thermaltake Tough Power GF-A3 1200 watt. It's an 80 plus gold rated ATX3 and PCI 5 ready power supply, fully modular with native 16 pin 12 volt high power. The rest of the hardware in the system will be made up of an Intel Core i9-14900K CPU. Motherboard is this MSI Z790 Project Zero. This is a back connect motherboard, so with hidden connections. Memory is 32GB, so 2 16GB modules of this Thermaltake Tough RAM XG RGB D5. It's DDR5 5600 mega transfers per second. Graphics is this MSI RTX 4080 Gaming X Trio. And then for storage in the system, I'll just be using a single M.2 drive. It's this Patriot Viper VP 4300 PCIe Gen 4 x 4 M.2 NVMe SSD. So that's all the hardware for the build. Let's see what we can do with this Tower 600. It's time for the build time lapse.
shape to feel a new
So the build's complete, everything's up and running. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. If you've got any questions about anything you saw in the time lapse, don't forget to drop me a line in the comment section. So I have set the cooling up with the 420mm radiator on this side. The fans on that are the reverse blade fans, and they're working as intakes, pulling the air through the radiator. Two fans at the other side. I'll tell you the reason why there's only two in there in a minute, but they're also the reverse blade type. They're intakes. I've also put one on the floor of the case. Again, the reverse blade type as an intake, so all those are pulling in the cool outside air. And then I swapped the standard CT140s that come with the case for two of the CT140EX. They're the forward blade versions, working as exhaust, so exhausting the heat out of the top of the case. As you can see, it's running the 3D Mark Speedway stress test currently. The only noise you can hear from the system will be from the graphics card fans. The rest of the fans in the system, they're all set on a custom curve, so they're really quiet when the system is idle. As the temperature increases of the CPU and the system temperature, the fans will increase, but I've kept them as quiet as possible. Only a couple of things to mention about the case. Now, the reason I'm using this Z790 and 4900K CPU is because originally I wanted to use the B650 Project Zero motherboard, but this case only has the cutouts for ATX boards, so it doesn't have Project Zero or back connect cutouts for micro ATX, which is a shame because the B650M Project Zero board is micro ATX. I wanted to use that in a 7800 X3D, but had to stick with the Z790 instead because I wanted to use a back connect motherboard in this build because it looks really neat and tidy without seeing any cables in the system. I've also gone for a green color theme in this one. I've done a lot of orange and reds in custom loop builds recently, so I thought I'd have a bit of change, and it's kind of an acid green or a UV green color scheme. I quite like how it looks in this case. Other thing to mention about the case is 140mm fans on this side. The reason I only use two is because when you've got the graphics card in this orientation, the bracket that holds the graphics card to the case, it kind of blocks off three fans, so you can only fit two 140 fans with the graphics card in that position. And also, if you've got a keen eye, you'll probably notice that I had to remove one of the aluminium shrouds from the motherboard, because with that in place down the bottom edge or down this side of the motherboard, you couldn't actually fit the 140mm fans in there, so I just removed the shroud from the motherboard and then it fit in place. So just a couple of things worth noting about this case, especially if you're using with Project Zero motherboards. Other than that, it's a nice case to build in. I quite like the Tower 600. It's good for a custom loop, as you can see. You could quite easily run a full custom loop with CPU and GPU water blocks, no problem at all for space. And it's different. It just gives you a completely different aspect to other standard ATX and dual chamber cases on the market. The panels that are all removable as well, there's so many. All the sides come off really easily and the dust filters can be cleaned out. There's even little front panel here that can be removed. You can access cables in there. They're all quite handy and they just clip on and off really easily. And those two access panels for cable management down the side, and those two channels for cable management are really useful as well to neaten up the build in the other side of the system. So I like this case. I like how the system's turned out. Let me know what you think of this build of the Tower 600 in the comment section. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. If you enjoy what we do here at Kit Guru and you want to help support us, you can always head over to our store, pick up some merch, or you could even subscribe to our Patreon. And as always, if you want to catch up on all the in-depth technical reviews, head over to our website.